Hey guys, in today's video, I will be reviewing the top 8 best Motorola phones. I made this list based on my personal experience, and I try to rank them based on their quality, durability, customer reviews, and more. If you want to know about the best pricing and more information, you can check the description links below. Number 8 in my list is Motorola G Power 5G Mobile. It would be folly to start with anything other than the battery. At 5,000 mAh, it's one of the largest batteries around, and thanks to the lower specs, it's very efficient. On average, one charge will net you 2 days of life, with 3 days being possible if you're conservative with how much you use your phone. Charging has been upgraded, with a 30-degree charging rate as standard and 15-degree wireless charging too. A 30-degree charging speed is great on a $300 phone, and 15-degree wireless charging is excellent. The design is solid too. It's made from plastic but doesn't feel like plastic, thanks largely to the vegan leather backing. There's also room for 1 TB of storage expansion, 128 GB of onboard storage, NFC support for contactless payments, and even a headphone jack. But it's largely there that the upsides end. The Moto G Power's display specs are great, with a 1080p display and a 120 Hz refresh rate. But in real use, it has bad viewing angles and poor visibility in sunlight, even if the 120 Hz refresh rate means it feels smooth. Performance also isn't great, and the MediaTek Dimensity 7020 struggles with any tasks more demanding than scrolling social media. The camera is also a big disappointment, with the main lens being only mostly usable. Every shot will have something wrong with it, and it's not reliable at all. Finally, the G Power will get one major Android upgrade. When some manufacturers are expanding their update promises enormously, just getting one is close to an insult. Number 7 in my list is Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G Mobile. It's always nice when a phone surprises you, and the Moto G Stylus certainly did that. Released last year, the G Stylus offers a large screen, solid performance, and a gorgeous display, as well as a stylus, for just $400. Is there a better bargain to be had in smartphones? There might be better phones in this price bracket, sure, but what isn't arguable is how excellent the Moto G Stylus is. We'll start with the performance. A stylus phone needs snappy response times, and the G Stylus's Qualcomm Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 chip certainly manages that. That combines with the display's 120 Hz refresh rate, making daily use feel smooth and quick. It's an LCD, but don't hold that against it, as it still looks great. The battery continues this impressive streak. It's a 5,000 mAh cell capable of managing 2 days on a single charge. However, the charging rate is limited to just 20 degree, which is a disappointment. Motorola doesn't include a 20-degree charger in the box, so you're initially limited to a 10-degree charger if you don't already have a faster charger on hand. There have to be downsides, of course, and that's encapsulated handily in the camera. It's okay in most scenarios, with results being acceptable. However, drop the lights, and the quality goes down heavily. It's certainly not going to match a Google Pixel 7a in quality by any means, and if a strong camera is a must for you, then the Moto G Stylus may be one to avoid. Number 6 in my list is Motorola Razr 2023 Mobile. The Razr Plus is the choice for a folding Motorola phone, but it's not the only choice. The standard Razr may be missing some of the bells and whistles that make the Razr Plus so good, but it's still a great flip phone, and a solid choice if you want a flip phone at a lower price. Like the Plus, the Razr is a gorgeous phone with a solid-feeling hinge and vegan leather material on the back. The first sacrifice can be seen here though, and it's the cover screen. It's a much smaller display than that on the Razr Plus, measuring just 1.5 inches and being relegated mainly to just swiping through notifications and a few select widgets. It's nowhere near the same level of usefulness as the cover screen on the Plus, and that's a real shame. The inner display is beautiful though, being 6.9 inches in size with a maximum refresh rate of 144 Hz. The cameras are good, though not a match for any of Samsung's flagships, and the cover screen can be used as a viewfinder, so you can use the main camera system for selfies. Performance is solid. even though the phone uses a mid-range Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. It's prone to getting hot when it's pushed and when playing games, but that's a problem the Plus version also shares, so we can't blame this specific processor for that. The 4200 mAh battery is a good performer, and it'll definitely last the day, even when pushed relatively hard with 3 or 4 hours of screen time. It's possible for this to last 2 days, but only with relatively light use. Don't expect it to last 2 days as a matter of course, but it should easily last a day on one charge. The recharging rate is capped at 30 doi, which isn't great, but it's okay. Number 5 in my list is Motorola Edge Plus 2023 Mobile. The highlights here are undoubtedly the display, design, and battery life. The display is a 6.7-inch POLED panel with a 2400x1080 resolution and a variable refresh rate that goes up to 165 Hz. That's beyond what's offered by most other flagship phones and matched only by high-end gaming phones, like the Asus ROG Phone 8 Pro. It's smooth and responsive unlike anything else, but it doesn't just offer speed. It's also gorgeous. The design is softly curved and sits nicely in the hand, and because the screen curves around the edges, it looks like it has no bezel at all. Put succinctly, it's beautiful. It's also capable of going 2 days on a single charge. The 5100 mAh battery is a beast. Screen time of almost 4 hours left the phone at 52%, with enough juice to make it through to the next evening, making this one of the best phones around for battery life. The Edge Plus also doesn't hang around when it's time to recharge, as the 68D fast charging makes short work of recharging the battery to full. We have yet to mention performance, but that's not because it's not good. It's powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, and it's fast. It's obviously not as fast as the newer Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but you're unlikely to notice the difference, as the Gen 2 devours even the most demanding 3D games. The camera is good, but nothing too exciting. It won't challenge the best camera phones, but it won't let you down. The Android interface is also pretty clean, with only a few pre-installed apps that can be removed easily. There's no always-on display, and the speakers are a bit rubbish. But outside of that, the Motorola Edge Plus is a triumph, with prices starting at $800 for 512 gigabytes of storage. This is easily a phone that can challenge flagships from other brands. And if you're a Motorola fan, there's no finer flagship in your eyes. Number 4 in my list is Motorola Moto G23 4G LTE Mobile. The Motorola Moto G23 offers an excellent build and a big battery for a very affordable price. Whilst the body is made entirely from plastic, it doesn't feel cheap to hold. There's also stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos support, making it ideal for listening to music. It's just a shame that the display isn't as impressive. As for battery life, that's also respectable, thanks to a large 5000 mAh cell, backed up by 30 W fast charging. Number 3 in my list is Motorola Moto G84 5G Mobile. Motorola is famous for its wide array of cheap smartphones, which can make it hard to decide which is best for your needs. For most people, the 249 pounds Moto G84 5G is the perfect option, blending its budget focus with more premium tech than you might expect. The phone is undoubtedly striking, with vibrant Pantone certified colors, including Viva Magenta, 2023's color of the year, that help it stand out from a packed budget market, with its vegan leather rear providing a nice grippiness while also feeling more premium than the plastic alternative. The 6.5-inch FHD plus POLED display is another outlier for the price, with a 120 Hz refresh rate and a solid maximum brightness of 1300 nits that shines brighter than the budget competition. It can be a little too vibrant in its default setting, but the natural color mode was much more appealing. The G84 5G has a surprisingly capable 50MP 1.5 primary sensor with OIS found in more premium options from Motorola like the Moto Razr 2022 and Edge 30 Fusion. Number 2 in my list is Motorola Razr Plus Mobile. The Motorola Razr Plus, sold globally as the Motorola Razr 40 Ultra, is the nicest Motorola foldable released so far and one of the best clamshell foldables to come out this year as a whole. In our review, We described it as a major evolutionary step for smartphones, one that goes beyond what previous ones have offered. With the Galaxy Z Flip 5 out, that's not necessarily so sure anymore, but it matters little. The Razr Plus stands on its own as an excellent phone. When unfolded, it's so thin as to recall the original Razr, while the huge display means your content receives the breathing room it deserves. When the display is closed, a large square external screen offers access to select apps that still encourage you to get off your phone so as to preserve the concept of these clamshell foldables, while still allowing you access to content. Still serviceable right now, as we noted with the Edge 40 Pro. That's not as important in today's market as it once was. It's a razor-thin clamshell phone, and that's still awesome. Number 1 in my list is Motorola Edge 40 Pro 5G Mobile. The Motorola Edge 40 Pro is the absolute best Motorola smartphone released so far. The company manages to keep pace with all the latest specs, including the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, large amounts of RAM and storage, and a super bright screen paired with a high refresh rate. After reviewing it, we feel it's the closest thing you'll get to a Pixel-like experience without buying one of Google's Pixel handsets. It could even be better when one considers the advantages Qualcomm's chips have over Google's, its incredible stamina, and the very fast charging. 2 flaws we can note. Though the camera isn't the best, it is very good, and the versatility of its sensors plus the ability for RAW capture means you can tweak whatever the camera gives out. Motorola isn't the best at delivering timely Android OS updates as Google. With Google moving away from that model, that may not be the deal breaker it once was. Alright guys, this was our today's video. If you find this video helpful for you, then like the video, and if you come to our channel first time, then hit the subscribe button for our amazing upcoming videos. Be sure to check out the links in the description for the updated price of all products discussed in this video. Hope you have a great day and see you soon in the next video.